Studios in Brea, California, here is the Doyledin Podcast.
Welcome to the Doyledin Podcast. We've been out for a week, so we're back. And, we missed talking about Clash of Paris, some things that are going on in wrestling right now.
It's all Drew's fault, in a way.
Yeah, it's
He's
just
a busy man.
It's just the
He's
season.
a busy man.
It's the season. If you,
What have you been doing?
I can't directly say what I've been up to, but if you are
illegal,
if you are in to like the Halloween Horror Nights community and you're a Halloween Horror Nights fan and you've been on TikTok, then this face might look familiar. TikTok, Instagram, wherever you can see little clips posted on about the, certain things. This face might look familiar. If you've been looking up videos of a certain clown's maze this year, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know if I could directly say, what it is yet, but yeah, that is it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I signed NDAs, so I have to be very vague with what I'm saying. But yeah.
Are we going to talk about the Universal Championship later?
Universal Championship. Yeah. We'll find out by the end of the Horror Nights season who gets the Universal Studios Horror Nights Championship, I guess. but yeah, it opened last week, Horror Nights, and it was sold out the whole week, and it's crazy to see because it's a lot of people, kind of bash these few couple years for Horror Nights, but this year everybody's loving, and it's the year with the most like IPs. You got Terrifier, the Wyatt Six, Jason, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Art the Clown is roaming around the whole park, and it's people are loving it, and so that's good. That's good. I just hope it doesn't stay with just only IPs, and that they kind of use the IPs to show their true talents of these original mazes that they have. But anyway, so that's a completely different tangent. But a lot is going on in the world. Recently there's been some talks of gun violence and all this stuff, and I feel like you're more educated on this topic than I am, but it has to do with the whole Charlie Kirk assassination. So you kind of wanted to bring this up, and I agree we should talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to bring politics into what we do here, but what happened was wrong. To Charlie Kirk, it was awful. It was done in a way to try and shock and scare people, I think, and it's just not right. And anybody who celebrates this is a piece of crap. And just know that regardless of what your allegiance is to a political party or a belief system, if you can't debate, if you can't sit down and talk to people, then you should probably go seek some help, because in my opinion, these people who are celebrating this, they're carrying some trauma from their childhood. They weren't hugged or loved enough, in my opinion. And I think that they need to go get that seen to and get some help before it manifests into something that's just going to have them die a miserable death when they get older. But to rejoice in somebody's death is just awful, especially in one like this. And it's always used as a political tool, which is just disgusting, no matter who does it, But I don't want to spend too much time on that. I just want to get that out there. And of course, we're recording this on 9/11, which is another tragic day in American history. That's a day that anybody who was alive then and knew their surroundings will never forget. Of course, I was with WWE at that time, and we were in Houston, Texas, and that day will be ingrained with me forever. And it's a sad day that should always be remembered for the people who perish, not the actual actions of the tragedy, but the people who perish and never forget their lives that were taken too soon when they were all going to just either work or travel, or on family vacation, or in a sports. There was a sports team going on one of the flights. It's just it's nonsense. It's all done out of you know terror and just beliefs of some kind of system. And so you go back to 9/11 and to what happened with Charlie Kirk. It's the same thing, and it needs to stop. But try not to be a Debbie Downer.
No, no, that's
We
why
do have a show. We
that's
do
why
have a show to do.
that's why we're saying it in the beginning of the show, because
Yeah.
then we'll just talk about everything else. But yeah, the whole Charlie Kirk situation, I think, is so sad. I mean, his kids were there, if I remember hearing that right. And just I can only imagine the trauma that they'll have for almost the rest of their lives because of that. And it's going to take a lot for that family to heal, and for people to come out here and celebrate that kind of action that was caused to assassinate him, is so just demented, and so just it's fucked up. It's fucked up, and to use it as a political outlet, I think on both sides is just kind of, you're not looking at the picture of a man was shot, and not just a man, but a man who had a family, wife, kids, everything. And now those kids don't have a father to take care of them. Wife is without a husband. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But
And I didn't always agree with Charlie Kirk on things. I'm not a religious person. Charlie was
mhm.
very religious, and I respected that because he didn't try and force it down anyone's throat. He would talk about it, and if you wanted to listen, he would talk about it. And all of his conversations where people say this or that about him, I mean, they're all very cordial. They're all very respectful. He listened. He wanted to give a platform to those who he didn't agree with, so we could have a debate. And that is admirable, and is what's missing in society today. There's so much just vitriol, just hate just spread across. And this is not going to help, because now you're going to have people who are done with a certain side now because of this, and probably rightfully so, that they're going to want to be more vocal about how they don't want to be associated with certain people anymore. And I get it, and it's awful. And I just hope that it's an event that doesn't happen again. It's wishful thinking. I just doesn't need to be there. It doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to be a part of our history or our society. But here we are.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So we'll move on.
it's fucked up. It's
Respect that,
fucked up.
and we'll move on. And we'll continue with our show as we do,
Yeah,
and know that we
yeah,
can't do
and
anything else.
I 100% agree. But yeah, we kind of just wanted to touch up on that little thing because it just happened recently. But what also happened recently was Clash in Paris. Clash in Paris. um, so I watched Clash in Paris. I thought it was a good pay-per-view. What do you have on the whole Clash of Paris? Do you remember what happened? I can give a little recap.
Yeah, my frizzled brain doesn't remember all the matches, but I do remember enjoying the show. I thought it was pretty decent. I thought the crowd was hot. A little too much of the singing kind of takes away from the action. But hey, they paid, especially nowadays, they paid so much hard-earned money to be there, because the tickets for WWE are not cheap anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming to the Pond, or the Honda Center. I'm still stuck in the 90s. In Anaheim, I think at the end of this month or next month, and I was looking at tickets, and holy moly, I you know I haven't paid to go to a WWE show in decades. I haven't had a need to, but I was going to maybe get a couple of tickets, and no thanks.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's
yeah,
that's
if the
that's it.
product was worth, if the storylines were really good right now, I'd consider it. But for what we get right now, holy shit, man! You
Yes,
gotta you gotta tailor the product to the cost. I mean, it's awful. You look at the Cleveland Browns, who are just an awful football team. Their tickets are cheaper than the Chiefs tickets, right? Or some better team, right? That they tailor it to now. If they start winning their conference and their division and go and win the Super Bowl, now the ticket price is going to go up. But you have to warrant that, and the WWE storylines right now do not warrant the cost of those tickets.
agreed. 100% agree. Um, but yeah, and also like I've never, I don't know, I've never wanted to go to a WWE event um, in the stadium because it's just like wherever you're at, that's the only view you're getting, as opposed to watching it on Netflix or wherever. You get the best view ever because that's what they're supposed to be doing as the cameraman is getting the best view ever, you know?
Right.
Um, so I don't know. I'd rather just sit at home, relax, and watch it on TV or my phone or something. But
Yeah.
instead of
Well,
paying,
I can see it. If certain storylines were created. I mean, I know we throw some stuff out there right now. You don't know how they're going to get over until you actually do it. And I'm sure a lot of these storylines in the creative room seem like, oh, this is a great idea, and then they do it, and it's like a fart in church. It's kind of like, okay, let's change it up. We got to do something.
I feel
And
like
I can see some changes being made right now, subtly, which we can talk about. Uh, but I think they need to really start pushing certain people sooner than later, people that we've talked about, because again, you want to. They still pack the stadiums. I mean, are they sold out all the time? Maybe not, but they're still making tremendous, houses. I mean, they really are. So people are still willing to pay, but for how long?
yeah, it's very true. Very true. And, it's, yeah, I mean, Clash of Paris was good, but the past 2 weeks of Raw, I just have not been invested in. So, I mean, let's get into Clash of Paris, and then we could rant about how storylines are kind of
Yeah.
lukewarm right now. But Clash of Paris, let's just go through in order. We got Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed, the original tribal chief versus the tribal thief.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised that this was the first match. I wasn't watching it live, so I tuned in, and that was the match that was playing. I was like, oh shit, I got to go to the beginning, and I go back, and I'm like, oh, that is the beginning. Okay, and it makes sense why it was after the match was over because Roman Reigns wins by pinfall, and Bronson Reed just keeps attacking him afterwards, giving him the tsunami after tsunami after tsunami, and that kind of thing. It's just kind of like, well, then what's the point of Roman winning in the first place when you're just gonna have Bronson Reed get up and just constantly, you know, bash on
Well,
Roman?
well, that's typically what you do when you want to keep a. So Bronson Reed. I mean, we've talked about Bronson before, right? Maybe he doesn't fit in this group. He's kind of made himself fit with the whole tribal thief,
Yeah,
right?
we love it.
Now, if you have the tribal thief against the tribal chief, I mean, you don't want the tribal thief to go over because now, well, maybe the thief is better than the chief.
Okay.
So there's a kind of a thing there, but you also don't want to kill Bronson's heat. So with Roman taking more time off to go film whatever he's going to go film, it doesn't hurt Roman to get killed by Bronson at the end, right? So give him the win. Doesn't hurt the tribal chief gimmick. Let the thief get his heat then after the match. So since Roman's going away, it keeps him strong because he's the one that's staying, and he still looks like a big badass heel, which is what they should be making him look like if he is going to be a part of this faction, right? The Vision.
Yeah.
So I totally get why they did it. Makes sense. And knowing that Roman's going to be gone for another 3 to 4 months, probably back at the Rumble, um, maybe even Survivor Series. Who knows? Um, but yeah, I totally get that part. And I think if they had to just beat Bronson Reed and not let him get his heat back, that would have made him look some kind of a little bit weak and harder for him to really say I'm the tribal beef, and
Yeah.
so I get it, and I thought it was a good finish. I thought it was a good finish.
Yeah,
Didn't hurt either guy.
I thought the match was pretty good, but now that you kind of explain why it went the way it did, it makes sense to me. You don't want any of them looking bad, especially Bronson Reed, because you need to build up this Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker uh,
Right.
uh, tag team or faction, or I don't know anymore. After watching this past episode of Raw, I don't know what's going on with that faction, but yeah, so the match, it caused Roman Reigns to have broken ribs and he's out indefinitely, is what was said, and as well as who was it? Paul Heyman too.
Paul Heyman, yeah.
Yeah, he suffered from a bruised larynx. Whether that's a work or what that actually happened, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
a work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's just a work. Um,
Um,
I don't
yeah,
know.
he's probably just taking some time off and just chilling with his kids.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't see why when the Vision is at like the top right now, or they want the Vision to be at the top.
Well, Paul's not a spring chicken, and no offense, but he's not in the best physical shape. So I think traveling can definitely take a bigger toll
Okay.
on some people. But also, this could have been scheduled, 6 months ago. Like, hey, you guys, I need this week or these couple of weeks off because of this vacation with my family, and whatever you guys build around us, just know that I'll be gone for those 2 weeks, and you know, it's up to creative then to work something. And if they're already in process of a storyline, but now they go, oh yeah, we still got to take them out for 2 weeks, you know. But I, with Paul, it's always done in a big way to where when he comes back, it's always something like holy shit, because he is invested so much, not just in his character, but you know the show itself and the brand, that he always thinks big and doesn't just come in and go, hey, so what do we do this or what do we do that? He'll come in, he'll study, he'll go, so if we do this, I mean this, he's very much like a Vince in that way. He I don't know if he learned from Vince, but he definitely has that booker owner mentality, and I don't think he sees himself just as a talent because he is so creative. And so I think when he does come back, it's going to be like, oh shit, okay, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, the Vision's definitely one of those things where it's been going strong, and for him to disappear is kind of like okay, but injury related makes sense. And then when he comes back, what's going to happen? Is he going to turn on Seth? Is he going to bring somebody else in? Is it, what? There's
Yeah.
going to be more to it than just Paul Heyman showing up and going, "Hey, I'm Paul Heyman, and I'm with the Vision again," and so expect something big.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, because I don't think the Vision's doing too hot. I feel like the writers' room is getting tired of the Vision. That's what it feels like. But um,
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you know, and that's another thing that used to drive me nuts is, um, you know, our creative. Well, it's not always creative, right? So if Hunter or Nick Khan or certain board members who have a lot of stake in the company are saying we want this guy pushed, we want that guy pushed, creative is told, hey, here's your top guys right now. Give us something, And it's up to creative to come up with something. Now, do they always come up with the best stuff? No, not always, but you know, like the Usos, they're being told, hey, Jey Uso is selling merchandise like hotcakes. He's one of our top guys. It's like he's not, but okay. You know,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we want to get into that whole. this week of the promo yet, but if you
No, we'll
want to, we
save
can.
we'll save that.
Yeah.
Let's get through Clash in Paris, and then because I have so much I want to talk about when it comes to this past week on Raw. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, uh, yeah, and because Bronson Reed was attacking Roman after the match, and Braun Breaker came out and um, sent Roman Reigns through a table. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were banned from ever showing up in the arena for the night, so which means they can't show up at the Fatal 4-Way main event for Clash in Paris, which was Seth Rollins, Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Um, and so I was like, okay, so that's probably probably not going to get them at the end of, at the main event. So who's going to come in and save the day for Seth Rollins was my first initial thought. I was
Yep.
thinking Gunther. Like
Me too.
I was on that. I was like, because Gunther has been out for a little bit. When is he going to return? But I feel like we'll get into that when we get to the main event. The next match of the night was the WWE Tag Team Championship. Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits. Wyatt Six entrance is always fucking amazing. Such a cool entrance. And it was so cool that when the entrance music ended, lights came on, everybody cheered or chanted Bray Wyatt. I can only imagine how emotional that was for Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, it was cool to see that even the fans are still a little upset that Bray Wyatt didn't get his full career that he should have gotten. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But anyways, the match was good. I actually like this match. I want to see more of the Wyatt Six. I hate that they're on SmackDown, but yeah, I thought it was a decent match. I don't know how long they're gonna keep the belts on the Wyatt Six. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about this. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, it serves its purpose, but I would put the Street Profits over, but I get they're trying to push away at 6 a little more. Um, you know, they actually look good. Not typically a big fan of them, but this was actually a good match, and I think they complemented each other with the Street Profits. But yeah, it was overall a good match, and yeah, not a ton to talk about really, but just
Yeah,
is what it was.
that's just the tag team division in general. Just not really much to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah. The next up was Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Woo, whatever. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we talked about this in our predictions that this match was just kind of going to be whatever. And even though the match was whatever, it was the crowd that was kind of making it seem like it was a better match than it actually was because we're in Paris. They
Yeah.
don't get WWE events as often as we do here in the States. So yeah, but just a whatever match. Nikki Lynch, Becky Lynch is retained the title, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. Was
Uh,
over that. Yeah.
yeah. Then we had our prediction for the match of the night of Clash in Paris. And that is the good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, Sheamus versus Rusev. Now, what are your thoughts on this match? Because I thought this match was whatever.
It was a good blow-off match,
Yeah,
the part of the problem when they're so physical in the first few matches, like what's left, right?
yeah,
And that's what they did to Donnybrook. Well, you guys have to take it a notch further. You can't go backwards, right? So take it a notch further for the blow-off match. And I thought it was good. I thought it was an aggressive match, which is we knew it would be. And they didn't go overboard with weapons and stuff like that, and make it like an ECW kind of match from the back in the day.
agreed.
They kept it to more of a physicality with each other, and they use some weapons here and there because they could. Um, and I think it all made sense instead of just bringing out a stop sign like they used to back in the day. Like, was there a stop sign underneath the ring, right? And here you go. So, but I thought it was good psychology. It was good. It was a good match. They got to the end where they needed to be at the finish line for this, and it was a great feud. And I was really hoping for them to you know hug it out at the end, say, you know what, you got the best out of me, and you took the best out of me, and kudos. And but
Yeah,
wasn't to be.
that's not what we got, and I don't think that's what we're gonna get. As of
No.
right now, based on how things are going, I don't think that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
But Rusev won that match, and we said it really doesn't matter who wins because there's nothing really on the line other than okay, this person won, cool, I guess. These are
Yeah.
two powerhouses of wrestlers that I think. I mean, I would love to see more of Sheamus and Rusev, and I think we're going to be seeing more of Rusev, um, in the uh, future of WWE storytelling or whatever, however you want to say it.
And it didn't matter who won the match. I mean, any of those matches that they had, it didn't matter because you're not remembering. 6 months down the line, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember Rusev beat Sheamus at Clash in Paris. It's like, who gives a shit? Do you remember that match? Oh my god, it was so physical. It's like
Yeah,
boom, boom. Sheamus did this. Oh, and Rusev did this. And you're talking about the actual match itself and not the finish, which is another beautiful thing about all of these matches that they had. Is like I couldn't even tell you who won their first match, their second match. You know, it didn't matter to me. The matches were just incredible and physical, and it was more of a UFC WWE kind of match, and then
yeah,
just wrestling. So no, they did a great job, and hats off to both of those guys.
yeah. Agreed. Um, Next match which is my favorite match of the night. It was the John Cena versus Logan Paul match. Phenomenal match in my opinion. I thought this match was incredible. And it's I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I feel like the best Cena that we've seen is the Cena that we're seeing now in the ring. I don't know. I think Cena's just killing it in all of his matches
Yeah,
recently. Um, and yeah, and after he turned back to being face, his heel matches weren't that great, but his matches now are phenomenal. And John Cena versus Logan Paul was I think a good match to showcase that. Logan Paul, he's very um, he very agile in the ring.
yeah,
He's always doing these high fly moves, and like you're just like, dude, like this is insane. Like just somebody such as Logan Paul to just quickly grasp like all this stuff that has to do with wrestling is so interesting to see. Um, I remember him just doing YouTube videos, shitty YouTube videos, but yeah, and here he is, fucking killing it in the ring. Cena won this match, but I like you said with the Rusev and Sheamus match, I don't care who wins. Like it was a good match overall.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing with Jake Paul, right? Is
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul? Sorry. Um, um, he has picked it up so quick. He reminds me of Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle, transitioned from amateur wrestling to pro wrestling, and he picked it up like that. And one of the best promo guys ever, and one of the best entertainers, one of the best wrestlers. He had it all. And Logan Paul is the same thing. He has come out, and every promo is money, every match is money, and he knows how to react at the right time, which is so important for a professional wrestler. If you notice, certain guys will always try and get the crowd going, and they don't know when to stop and to pull it back, and they don't know when to, in a match, they don't know when to look at the crowd and give them what they want, and also look at the crowd and not give them what they want, but hold on to it and build it and build it and build it, and then boom, right? That hurts a lot of guys, and it hurts them getting over because they don't know the psychology of how to work a match in front of a live crowd, even though they've been doing it for months, years, whatever it may be. Logan Paul has come in and he's got that out the gate. I
Yeah.
mean, you watch his matches, not just the moves he does, it's when he does them, how he does them, and what he does next. And the psychology of everything that he does is just so perfect. I mean, if he had been around in the Attitude Era, oh my God, he would have been one of the top
Oh
guys.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, and he is one of the top guys. It's just the roster now and what you have going on now is not as great as it was in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And think if his schedule allowed him to be more of a presence on the roster and on the shows, that he would be world champion. He's got to be world champion at some point because he is phenomenal. He
Yeah.
could be the poster boy for the company and definitely one of the top future stars of the industry.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like they kind of have to play their cards right with Logan Paul. You know, he's always been into controversies, in previous years, and so I don't know. I feel like maybe without those, I think they would have propelled him even faster. I don't know. I don't know what the case on that is, or unless like the fact that he's in the company just as is, maybe they kind of don't care about the controversies. It's way in the past. I'm sure Logan Paul is, you know, past those controversies in his personal life, rightfully so. And I
No, I
don't
think you
know.
make a good point. I think you make a very good point. I mean, as good as he is, you want to test the waters to make sure there is no lingering, backlash from his stupidity when he was younger,
Yeah,
right? And he's the first one to admit that he was an idiot and immature and stupid, and that's fine. That's great. Okay, as long as you can recognize it and fix it, you know, you should give somebody a second chance. And I'm not saying
yeah,
that just because he's a pro wrestler or anything like that. That goes for anybody, right? As long as you
yeah,
can admit your mistakes, own up to it, right, and fix it and move on and be a better person. I'm all for that in any realm of our universe, right? So he's done that. So I think that again they test the waters out because it's not if you get backlash, it's not Logan Paul. It's getting backlash. It's going to be WWE, right? It's the brand.
yeah,
So I think they're at the point now where it's like, okay, people get it, people understand, and he definitely has changed, and he's definitely a better person than he was, and again, now you got to find that right time, that right moment, right? And I think once you get to the LA Knight being the world champ, that's a perfect time for Logan Paul to come in because
oh,
those
yeah,
promos, and those matches. I
wow.
mean, I will pay the ridiculous ticket money to go see that shit.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, that would be an insane matchup. Logan Paul and LA Knight. I would love to see that. That'd be phenomenal.
the whole
Um,
program, the whole, and they have to if they go there, which I believe they will, they have to build it. It has to be. It can't be just hey, here it is, and the next pay per view or the PLE, we're gonna have the match. No, let it build for 2, 3, 4 months because you can get some great houses out of that. You can get some amazing promos. They don't have to touch each other hardly ever. And Logan Paul playing a chicken shit heel, and he could be the Rock and and LA Knight be the Austin,
there it
and you
is,
have
right behind you.
rival that yeah, I mean that rivalry from late '90s, early 2000s, could easily be reimagined through this as well.
Yeah, 100%. Logan Paul, LA Knight. It needs to happen. That is a rivalry I would love to see. Um, but I don't know when we'll see that because right now Seth Rollins still has the World Heavyweight Champion with uh, after the main event of the Fatal Four Way with him, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. Are they gonna give Punk this World Heavyweight Champion at some point, or are they just gonna keep Seth Rollins having the gimmick of, as long as I'm with the company, you're not going to be world champion. And this is how you're not going to be world champion, because LA Knight's going to take it from me, and I'm going to let him take. Or I don't know. That's kind of sounds dumb, but yeah, I don't know. What's your opinion on this? I mean, what's your opinion on the Fatal 4-Way? More importantly.
Well, I mean, it was an okay match. It was decent. I mean, I think we already said a lot of our predictions we gave, and they were spot on for this as well, right? Just like always. But I think we said Rollins would come out on top, and uh, we knew somebody would come in and help him. We it had to be.
Yep.
We did not expect it to be Becky Lynch, which doesn't mean that's a good thing, because we didn't get it right, because it's not a good thing in my opinion. I think it's awful.
So bad.
And so now you have, with that, of course, you have Becky and Seth aligned together. The curtains come back. They're married. We already knew that part, all that, but now they're actually together on camera, which, number one, takes away from the faction that I thought was going really well. And now you have Seth and her, Becky, entwined with CM Punk and a returning AJ Lee. And that takes away from, a championship match. But now maybe if Punk wins, if Punk and AJ Lee win, then he gets another shot against Seth Rollins in the tag match. I don't know. But I I don't get it.
Yeah, let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it. Match was whatever. Seth Rollins got the title because Becky Lynch, punched Punk in the nuts or whatever. But then you have the next very next day on Raw, Becky Lynch has a promo, and or Punk has a promo, and Becky Lynch comes out and kind of like just slaps him around or something, like terrible. I just thought that was so bad. And then everyone's like, well, AJ Lee has to come back because she's got to take care of Becky Lynch. And of course, go to SmackDown. AJ Lee returns, shows up, crowd goes nuts. And then when fast forward to this previous Raw, where we get AJ Lee on the mic for the first time, and holy shit, was this? It was so bad. Everything about it was so bad. You have AJ Lee talking about how therapy's great. She's been gone for 10 years, and you took therapy or whatever. I don't know if that was like a gimmick, because she was supposed to be like crazy when, like, she was like a psychotic or whatever. That was her gimmick originally, and I guess that's how she's saying that that's no longer going to be her gimmick or whatever. And and then she has the Becky Lynch's title around her waist, which I'm like, okay, like that you didn't win that, but it's kind of weird for you to.
Last week.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that kind of like diminishes the fact that Becky Lynch is a champion now. Like, now that you have someone who hasn't earned it steal the belt and it's around your waist, like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I didn't care for that.
Do you know what a pantomime is?
Yeah.
So back home, right? As you can see, I'm from Ireland originally. For those who don't know, Becky's from the same city as me, as a Sheamus and Lyra. But growing up in what you guys call elementary school, we call primary school. We have pantomimes, and it's typically this orchestrated. It's like a play, but it's more interaction with the crowd, and
Okay.
It's great when you're an elementary school kid, right? And you're like, oh, I want to be involved in this, right? And you have, so for example, you tell the heel in the pantomime is saying to the face, "Oh no, you didn't." The crowd will all go, "Oh yes, he did." And it's this whole, and they wait for it, and you know what you're supposed to do. And that's exactly every freaking Becky Lynch promo is like a pantomime. It's bad acting. It's terrible, just facial expressions. even at the beginning of that Raw this past Monday, where she's trying to get the camera, and it's all so fucking horrible. It is just like the worst
Yeah.
acting. I mean, I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna. But it was just the worst acting that you could have. It's no longer pro wrestling. It's now bad pantomime when she's on TV, and it's just her reactions to the crowd, and it's just so terrible. And you know, there's other wrestlers out there who fall into the same category and the same area
Yeah.
have the same reactions. And it's like they grew up just watching pantomimes and want to incorporate that into wrestling, and it just doesn't work. But it's over with this crowd of younger, brainwashed fools who don't understand pro wrestling and have now turned our pro wrestling shows into these, you know, pantomime esque where they think they got to be so involved with the whole thing, and the psychology comes out of it. And anytime she's in the ring, the psychology's gone, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe what I was watching when I saw all that, the AJ Lee and Becky Lynch and Punk and this the Seth Rollins and all that stuff is so like ridiculous. And I I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I think they thought bringing AJ Lee back was I mean it did do a good thing for the audience. The audience seems to love it that AJ Lee's back, but I feel like it's gonna kind of die down real quick once they see that nothing really good's gonna come out of it. I mean, we're just because of this, I think it's taken away from Seth Rollins being with the Vision, and
And takes away from the intensity of Punk and Rollins that they had
yes,
one. Um, and my problem with this is the same problem I have with some of the other stuff that TKO has been doing with WWE since they bought it. And it's okay, this is good for the live crowd. Sounds great on TV and all that. Maybe they sell merch. That's great. But your audience, your TV audience, you know, that's you gotta look at your TV audience. And I I was flicking past this because I just, listened to this whiny, these whiny chicks in the ring, and that's not a sexist thing. That's just because there's a lot of great female wrestlers that I love. I
yeah,
mean, there's a match on Raw uh, between Raquel Rodriguez and Lyra, and you had even told me that was a great match, and I was like, oh, okay. And I watched it, I was like, holy shit, this is phenomenal,
yeah,
right?
pretty
Lyra
good.
looked the best in a long time, and Raquel, I love Raquel Rodriguez. Everything about her is world champion. She's big and strong, and uh, she just knows how to carry a match real well. But these two, it's just two chicks bickering back and forth, and it's like nauseating. It's like holy
Yeah,
shit. You know, it's
yeah,
like I'm listening to two drunks at a bar who are arguing over their husbands. Trying to get their husbands involved in a fight.
yeah. That's literally what it
You know,
is. That's what
that's what it is. I mean, and it's just like holy shit.
the whole you know Becky Lynch telling Seth Rollins to go get the belt in the ring, and I'm just like, but like I don't know what they're doing, because it just makes him look weak. It makes Becky look weak. It makes Seth Rollins look weak, and I don't know if that's what they're trying to do, because they're gonna take the belt off of them, or what the deal is. But like they're champions. They got the belt somehow. You have to. I don't know, in my opinion, you have to just show that they're meant to be that champion. No matter how they earned it, they're still the champion, and they're still retaining that belt. I don't know. I just watched that promo. I'm like, man, like I would be okay with Becky Lynch like losing the belt as soon as possible, as well as Rollins, because it's terrible. It is awful what they were doing this past week. But yeah, I don't know. And we're fans of the Vision. We like
Sure.
what they were doing with it,
Yep.
and to see this, it's kind of like, well, what's the future of the Vision? Like, I don't remember the last time we saw Seth Rollins and the Bronze together. Uh, I I don't remember when the last time that was.
Well, Paul was still there, right? Before he went off TV for a little bit. And that's when Paul comes back, I'm sure he'll, bring the family back together kind of thing.
Okay.
But and maybe he's gone because they want more focus on, Becky and Seth, and Paul kind of takes away from that. Although I think Paul working with Braun would have been good. Um, but as I've said before, give it to the Rumble, and I think you're going to see an explosion of this group anyway. So I
I hope
think they're
so.
trying to get there without doing too much right now. Let it coast. They're still in the same team, but I think at the end of the day, Braun Breaker turns face and wins the Rumble. That would be my pick. Um, I don't. I mean, LA Knight winning it would be huge, but if he's going to be involved and get that title from Seth or whoever it is, does that happen at Mania? I don't know, but I see either way. I see Braun Breaker breaking away from Seth Rollins and being a babyface. He could be a huge babyface.
Yeah, yeah, or more like a just middle road kind of
Yep.
guy where he's going
Yep.
after baby faces and heels, like, you know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I hope out, because it's setting up WrestlePalooza, which is going to be on what, ESPN, right? That's the first
Yeah,
PLE
yeah,
on ESPN.
that's right. Coming
Um,
from Indianapolis, Indiana, baby.
yeah, Netflix internationally, so I think you can like VPN your Netflix so that you can just watch it on Netflix. But yeah, I hope that it's just because they want to promote the ESPN shift for all future PLEs. And I hope that once that ends, this whole Becky Lynch, Rollins, and Punk, AJ Lee kind of thing just dies out and
Yeah.
whatever. But uh, yeah,
Well, I'd imagine, I don't know what the October PLE is, but I would imagine that match is going to happen there. I don't think he can wait till Survivor Series.
looks like it's going to be Crown Jewel.
And is that in Saudi Arabia or is that here in the
It's
States?
going to be in Australia.
Australia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit. Um, that's. I mean, I think that's where you have your Seth Rollins CM Punk match, and CM Punk wins the crown jewel. The WWE title.
You think so?
I mean, he's got to win it eventually.
Yeah. You don't think
And
they're
many
gonna?
times you screw him before people go, all right.
You don't think they'll save it for WrestleMania?
Oh God, I think that's too far out.
Okay.
You gotta. People are fickle, right? So people care right now, and people want to see Punk win it. Just like with Sami Zayn, right? Oh, Sammy's fighting from underneath, and then it's like, okay, whatever. I'm done with this guy. This is gonna be the same thing forever.
Yeah.
And then they give him the U.S. title. You know, um, but I think with Punk, because he's a bigger star than Sammy, and he's definitely a better wrestler and promo and everything else. I think that's something you got to do sooner than later, because it's been so long already. So I think if it's not at Crown Jewel, maybe Survivor Series. Um, but I do see. I don't think it can be a straight up match. I would love to see both of these guys in a ladder match at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And it's that thing where Punk's like, you've been taking that title away from me, and I've been trying to grab it, I've been trying to get it, and you keep, screwing me out of it somehow. And it's like, well, you want to grab it, it's going to be up here, and you got to climb that ladder one more time. and get that belt. Now they have the TLC stuff they do earlier in the year, but I think this uh, going back to Brett and Shawn when they had the very first ladder match at the Survivor Series in '92. That could be a great way to commemorate that. 23 years later. Oh gosh, 33 years later. I'm getting old.
Wow.
Um,
Older than me.
yeah, yeah, a little bit. But I think something like that would have to be done because it's such a monumental feud that they've been having for the last 6 months or whatever it's been. It's not just a match and it's done. And maybe that's the blow off match. Maybe something down the line. We have one in October and then also in November. I don't know, but it's got to be big. It's got to be big because this has been a pretty long and decent feud.
Yeah.
And for Punk to win the match, for Punk to actually win that title, it's got to be meaningful. It can't be just, oh, he pinned him and it's over. Right? It's like he has to do something, more than just the basic to get that belt.
Yeah.
That's been eluding him since he came back. Although he had it, but then he lost it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I I I agree with you, but I would like to see this kind of just stew where Punk because no matter what, you're gonna get a huge pop when Punk gets that belt, and I think it's gonna be a bigger pop than when Cody won the belt against Roman Reigns. And
I agree.
It's such a, I think everybody's just locked in on this storyline, and for me, bringing in the spouses kind of just ruins that. I think you said that earlier, so I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, the ladder match idea, I love it. I think that's great. I think that would be a phenomenal match between the two. But yeah, it's I don't know. To be honest. We'll have to just wait and see. But do you think AJ Lee's gonna get the belt off Becky at some point, or no? I hope not.
Um, I don't know if that's going to be a match. I don't know if that's going to be something that they're going. I mean, the tag matches I think is what it is.
Okay.
I hope. I just hope it doesn't extend into something more because is AJ Lee back full time? If so, then okay, maybe. If she's part time, then I wouldn't go that route.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but I would say no. I would say, I mean, she stole it for a reason, right? So maybe they are going to go that route, and I don't know. Maybe the whole deal is, well, Becky will go over on AJ, but Punk will go over on Seth. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know.
No
I'm
interest in it.
I have no interest in this. I was hooked on the Punk and Rollins thing, but then they brought the spouses in. I was like, oh, you guys are ruining it. AJ Lee, a lot of people were predicting that she was going to return after last week's Raw and return on SmackDown or whatever, and everybody loves the idea, but I was just like, it's not. I don't think she's that great of a wrestler. Like, I've never really been a fan of her. I mean, when I was younger, I was definitely a fan of how she looked, but but not really the wrestling or anything. And I don't know. I just not into it, not digging it. And I think the judging by the crowd of this past Raw, I think they're gonna lose steam of that real quick because the crowd was kind of just like
Well, they were chatting along with that therapy and all that garbage, and just I don't know. It just I think they were part of the problem is when somebody first comes back, everybody's excited. Oh, they're back, and then they'll chant with them and they'll sing their song, and then it'll be week 2. It's like, oh, that's right. They weren't really that great.
Yeah.
Well, it's just good to see somebody, right? It's good to see somebody who's back. Even people like, I don't know, people in your life that maybe you haven't seen in a couple. Oh, hey, Joey, or Jack, or Frank, or whatever. How you doing? Good. And then that person just keeps talking. It's like, holy shit, yeah, okay. The high was enough, okay? I mean, it's good to see you. It was good to see you.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it that way, right? And that's just human nature, right? But I don't think that, I think it's going to wear off real quick. And it's just not something that's I don't know, grabby, It's just it doesn't pull me in, you know.
Yeah.
You want to pull people in, and again, this is short term, and that's why I think it'll be the tag match, and maybe that's it. But
Hopefully.
who knows?
Hopefully. But yeah, and then another thing to touch on is what's going on with Jey Uso. I don't know how far you got into this past Raw, but the last match of the night was what was it? Was it LA Knight versus Bronson Reed? I think it was. Trying to find it right here.
So I saw the promo earlier on the night, which had to flick through at the beginning while you're looking that up. I had to flick through the promo because again, the first 5 minutes of nonsense, and then then you have Jimmy out there with Jay, and it's kind of like, holy shit. Now it's twice as bad. And LA Knights. So when you have Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come out, okay, now I'm kind of okay. What do we have here? And Braun Breaker's on the mic, which is great. He's always great. Bronson gets on the mic. He has to remind everybody of his nickname. You don't have to do that, okay? But then LA Knight comes out and attacks them, right? And they get the better of LA Knight. They bring him down to outside the ring. They're beating the shit out of LA Knight. Usos are just standing there in the ring.
Yeah.
They wait. They just wait. I mean, it's just so bad. And they just wait, and then once LA goes down, they're like, okay, let's hit the ropes and then fly out, right? It's just like it defies all logic,
Yeah.
At least back in the day, we had logic to this stuff, right? Oh, you're gonna attack him, we're gonna jump out and help him, and then we'll brawl in the ring, and then we'll go from there. But this, I was just standing there. Okay, you're beating the shit out of him. That's cool. All right. Oh, now we'll go do a move. Okay, now we'll get them.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit. Why wait? And then LA having to go towards the corner, and Jay's in the corner, and he's like, oh, almost got you. And then Jay moves out of the way, and Braun splashes Jay, and then the quarreling at the end is more pantomime bullshit from Jay. LA Knight was great, but Jay, so
Yeah. Well, I think because it seems like they're gonna turn Jey Uso heel, and their card at WrestlePalooza, it's the Usos versus the Brawns, and I feel like we're gonna see Jey Uso turn on Jimmy or something, and then that's when he turns heel, and maybe he's gonna be part of the Vision. Probably not, but yeah, I think, especially after seeing this past week on Raw, he will probably turn heel because he attacked LA Knight for no reason. Because we had LA Knight versus Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker comes out, and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker start attacking LA Knight. You hear the Uso music, but it's not Jey Uso, it's Jimmy Uso who came out first and starts helping LA Knight. And then Jimmy Uso's getting attacked. And, we previously saw Jey Uso telling Jimmy, hey, I'm out of here. Like, I don't care about the Vision. Like, that's not my problem anymore.
Right.
Talking about LA Knight's match later that night. And that's where Jimmy's like, well, you're kind of sounding like the OTC, you're kind of sounding like Roman Reigns instead of Jey Uso now, and all this stuff. And then because Jimmy's getting attacked, Jey Uso comes out. We think Jey
He's
Uso
not.
had already left, but he shows up and protects his brother, and then Jey Uso's getting attacked, and he's about to get tsunamied by Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed, and LA Knight comes out, hits Bronson Reed with a chair, and LA Knight has the chair. LA Knight helps Jimmy Uso up. LA Knight LA Knight checks on Jey Uso first. Jey Uso's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fine. Everything's good." Then LA Knight helps Jimmy Uso up as LA Knight, and this kind of took forever, so you could see where it was going. It took forever for Jey to hit his mark, but Jey hits LA Knight with a super kick or no, a spear, and Jimmy's like, "Well, what the hell was that all about?" And kind of has that look on his face, and that's kind of it. That's where it ended. So
Yeah, and that's the thing with a
I
lot
mean,
of WWE programming is it's all slow to develop. It's
yeah,
like, you go back and look at the old, and I say old, but stuff I grew up on the '90s even and early 2000s, where guys would just turn into a move, right? It's not turn and wait. And here comes the guy, and I mean, you could step out of his way if had an IQ of 10, right?
yeah,
And not get hit. But now it's all turn around, stand there. Oh, he's coming at me, he hits me, and it's just so bad. And stuff like this, where it's like takes too long to develop. Like it's like, and I know some of the mentalities will let it build, let it build. It's like no, it's TV. Okay, you don't let it build too much. Get this guy, help him up, turn around real quick, boom,
yeah,
straight into it, straight into it. You know, but I don't know. It's just so awful, and I think there's this generation of wrestlers who are taught to be more safe when it's not more safe. It's actually just horrible
yeah,
because there's a lot of guys who used to do it in the '90s who were very safe and never got hurt, and if they got hurt, it was a freak thing. You know, but a lot of these guys these days are just making the product look bad, and it's not about being safe or not safe. It's just terrible acting and terrible performance. Um, but I will say, if they're taking LA Knight out of the championship picture and putting him in a feud with Jey Uso now, you know, I mean, turning Jey heel, okay, that's cool. I think that's better than him being a face for sure. Uh, but where does that leave LA Knight then as far as the championship picture go, right?
yeah,
Seth's involved with CM Punk. How long is that going to go for? Will they finally then, once that's done, switch LA Knight over to Seth or Punk or whoever it is? But if Punk wins and Seth and LA Knight is still a face and CM Punk's still a face, then where do you go? So it seems like a whole lot of moving the cups around here, and where's the ball at? I don't know.
yeah. I
But
think they just wanted to set. They wanted to have good cards for WrestlePalooza, and because of that, we're kind of getting shafted on some good storytelling because it's the first PLE on ESPN, so they got to make it big. I'm not gonna watch it because I'm not gonna subscribe to ESPN. I'll watch the highlights, but I think because what's the price? I forgot what the price was for it because
I
there's
don't know. It's included in my plan with my phone carrier, so I get it all. The Disney, I get the whole Disney package as part of it. So I don't know what the
no, I might have to
cost is.
check up on that. Maybe I do as well. Um,
So yeah, so
30
part of our
bucks,
Verizon
30
package.
bucks a month for ESPN.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
I mean, if you have a Disney package or some kind of package, it's all included in so you just need to enter in your password, and that's from my understanding. So hopefully
Gotcha.
that
Okay, so I do
for a
have
bit.
Disney Plus, but I don't know. I think only having it on ESPN is kind of crazy. But
Well, get the app and then see if you can log in with the same username and password that you use for Disney Plus on the app, and if you can, then you're good.
yeah, I might have to check that out then. But 30 bucks a month is insane for that kind of service.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a sports guy, so you're not going to use it.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Crazy.
Um, But they do have a bundle. So you can get ESPN by itself, $30 a month, or you can do the bundle with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, which is also $30 a month. So I don't understand why just not get the bundle, But whatever. Uh, anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I hope this is just because they wanna uh, promote WrestlePalooza, which is on the 20th of September. So what, next week?
I was just going to take a look. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we should start making predictions for that.
yeah, next week. Well, before we do, I do want to touch up on what's going on with Judgment Day.
Oh, yeah.
Dominic Mysterio and all that stuff. We kind of been seeing Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano, um, hang out, and whether El Grande's in a match or Dominic's in a match, the other one's coming out and helping them, and in some way, shape, or form. We had a match with AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio. El Grande Americano came out and headbutted AJ in the ribs. So very curious where that story is going. I'm interested in it. I think right now it's kind of the best story that's happening at the moment. Um, whether or not Dom is going to break up from Judgment Day or the other people are going to break up from Judgment Day, and is El Grande Americano going to join Judgment Day at some point? And it's very interesting because I am a huge fan of Judgment Day as a faction, and I really don't want to see them split up, or uh, I don't want the faction to fizzle out in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think it will until Liv Morgan shows back up, but we don't know when that will be. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Because
Yeah,
Dom still has the belt, right? The Intercontinental.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I love the Judgment Day too. I think that they made the right changes. Of course, they had the pivot when Liv got hurt, and they brought in Roxanne, which has turned out to be, just a great tag team or friendship or whatever you want to call it with Cal Rodriguez, who I think is awesome.
Yes.
One of the best talents out there. And when she first came in, she was a little sloppy, but she's done tremendous work to get better. She is just phenomenal. Um, and then JD and Finn together are a great team. Whether they have the belts or not, whether they're tagging together or not, just faction with all those guys, they mesh so well together.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would think Dom is going to turn face, and I think that he's going to align himself with some kind of luchador group. I think they're going to have some kind of a group there. But the Grande Americano, I think, should be a group in themselves, because there was two on Raw this week, right? There was another one. I didn't see.
Dragon Lee,
Yeah.
which I think Dragon Lee is also really good, because it was I forgot what Raw it was. I don't know if we talked about it on a previous episode or whatever, but it was Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough, and holy crap, like some of the spots, I was like, dude, there's are they alive? Like, what? How are they like still up and moving? It was an incredible match. Trying to find out.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it was, but nonetheless. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Finn Balor and Dragon Lee. Finn
Okay.
Balor, Dragon Lee, and JD McDonough interrupted the match, and that's what caused Finn Balor to win. I think that's the match I'm thinking of, but that was a phenomenal match. I was blown away by that match. But yeah, so
Yeah, Dragon Lee is definitely a tremendous talent. But as far as the Judgment Day goes themselves, I mean, I think they're going to be changing it up a little bit. I think pull Dom out of there and have him do certain things with the luchadors, whether he's a heel or a face. But I would like to see AJ Styles turn heel and join the Judgment Day. I think
Ooh,
Phenomenal, phenomenal.
there it is.
Uh,
Phenomenal.
you know, but to have him with Finn and JD, I mean, they all complement each other. Finn and AJ wrestled together. Indies there years back. So I think that'd be a good grouping, and I think he did some kind of a work shoot promo, I think, during commercial break here last week, and I don't know exactly what it was, but um, that makes sense that they're testing the waters there with the crowd as far as him giving a bit of more of an edgy kind of a promo before they put it on TV to see how the crowd reacts to it. So maybe that's the route they're going to take, but having him part of the Judgment Day would be
Yeah,
cool.
agreed. Agreed. Um, but yeah, in terms of storylines, I'm trying to think of other stuff. Through the Kabuki Warriors, they're kind of coming back into the mix. You got some stuff going on with Bailey that I couldn't give a shit about. Um, like nothing against Bailey. It's just I don't care whether she's having this internal conflict of her heel persona and her face persona. Like I don't care. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's kind of it of what's been going on. We got WrestlePalooza coming up in a week. As of right now, we have think we got 4 matches that are um, set up for WrestlePalooza as of right now. Probably we'll be getting more as we get closer to the event. But I think we want to go through the matches real quick, see the
Sure.
cards. Yeah. So
4 to go through. Why not?
I did watch some recaps of SmackDown, last week's SmackDown, because of the AJ Lee returns. We wanted to see how they were going to play that out. And I was able to catch some of the Cena versus Sami Zayn match, which we don't really care for Sami Zayn, but the match was decent from what I saw. I mean, I did see recaps, so I only saw the best parts, but Brock Lesnar came out and squashed both Sami Zayn and Cena, and that sets up Cena versus Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza.
Mhm.
I feel like Cena's got to win this, uh, unless they want to keep Brock. But there's no reason to have Brock go over other than to keep Brock on WWE after Cena leaves or whatnot. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cena has to win, whether it's by pinfall or disqualification or whatever it may be. But having Brock beat Cena just after him coming back, I agree. I don't know if Brock's going to be around for a long time or if it's just a temporary thing. But um, Cena has to go over here, and again, doesn't matter how. Maybe Sami Zayn comes down and interferes or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
And but you know, to have Cena lose this match wouldn't do his farewell tour any good.
agreed,
But
agreed.
I'm pretty sure this was part of like, hey, I'd love to work Brock one more time, and can we set that up? And it's happening, And I don't think Brock cares because it's the last time he's ever going to get to work Cena, and so it doesn't matter to either of these guys. Well, it matters to Cena, but it doesn't matter to Brock if he goes. And so I think this is going to be a nice match for both of these guys to work for the last time ever together.
Yeah, agreed. And I looked it up. I was just curious. Cena's got 6 to 7 more matches left on his farewell tour. His retirement match or final match, whatever you want to call it, is set in December for Saturday night's main event, and then
So I think he has 6 or 7 more dates, not 6 or 7 more matches, right?
no, it says matches. What I just looked up.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Hmm.
I don't know. He's gonna wrestle WrestlePalooza. Then he's gonna have a SmackDown appearance in October, and or no, that doesn't make sense because his last SmackDown was last week. Yeah, I don't know how accurate this is, but
No, it sounds like it's all hodgepodge. I don't think his last SmackDown was last week. I mean, he's going to be on shows.
no,
Oh, was he?
He said it
Is he
was
on
his
Raw?
last SmackDown.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's why Sami Zayn. Well, it was like, well, if it's your last SmackDown, then you know
The
that's
fuck out.
yeah, get the fuck out of here. Let's have a match. You're gonna compete for the title, the U.S. title.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know how accurate that is, but uh, they are saying that Saturday night's main event in December will be his last match.
Okay.
Whatever. But
Yeah, it was going to be on Peacock only, I believe, which is crazy.
yeah, I don't know why they don't just keep it on one service. Well, money, but whatever.
Well, they should have his last match on a service where everybody can watch, get that huge rating, But
Yeah,
I think they're thinking, well, people will buy Peacock just because, and it's like, okay,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, that's the Cena and Brock match. Then
Hmm.
we've talked about it. I think the most on today's episode. Punk, AJ, Rollins, Becky Lynch, the mixed tag team match. I I have no hope that that match is going to be entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be what it is, and I mean, you got to have AJ legal, otherwise, what's the point of her coming back?
Yeah, and you know, I don't think they're fighting for the belts, so it's just a regular match. Uh, but then AJ still has Becky's belt that she stole. So are they going to do something to where they got to have Rollins and Becky win so that she gets the belt back and or whatever? I don't know. But I honestly don't care.
Yeah, it's a good point about the belt. If AJ goes over, does she keep the belt or does she just drop it on Becky and say, "I'm coming for that now"? I don't
Yeah,
know. But yeah, I'm with you. It's like I really don't care. Let's get past this and move on to the actual, you know, championship match between Seth and Punk, and because that'll be a great match. It'll be
yes,
classic. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Seth Rollins and his promos and his some of his matches, I think with Punk it's hard to go wrong because Punk is just gets the best out of everybody. He's very much like a Shawn Michaels or a Bret Hart. You can wrestle. They can wrestle whoever, and they'll have a great match.
yeah,
So I just want to get back to that. I just want to get back to that match and forget this horrible nightmare we're living in right now and
yeah,
uh, move
yeah. Because
on.
my biggest fear for this mixed tag team match is they're just gonna be stepping on each other's toes the whole match, and it's just gonna look sloppy. It's gonna look, it's gonna be like this is like I don't know. I feel like it's gonna look so weird.
It's gonna be typical where you're gonna have Becky standing there waiting for AJ to hit her.
Yeah,
Like instead of like that's not logical. That's nobody does that. I'm not gonna stand there and know that you're gonna hit me and just stand there and take it. Okay?
yeah,
You're gonna have a
agreed,
lot of that.
agreed. Um, yeah, that's that. And then I think this might be the best match of the night as of right now with what we have on the card. That's going to be Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant title for Naomi's belt. That because she had to leave because she's pregnant and she can't wrestle when you're pregnant. But yeah, because that's a handicap match.
That's a 2-on-1. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I hope Stephanie wins it. But I don't think she's going to because I think she's still a little too green for them. But I don't know because I think EO is over already, and to put that belt on Stephanie would I don't know. I don't know.
So I actually think the opposite. And going back to that point that you made earlier, they're on ESPN. They want to put on some good stuff. I think Stephanie Vacour goes over. I think the Kabuki Warriors, whether intentional or not, cost Io Sky to match.
Mm,
But either way, I think even if they don't get involved, I truly believe that Stephanie Vacour has to go over here. and have her carry that championship. And she is a better opponent for Naomi when Naomi comes back, and she can hold it that long. Stephanie Vacour is great talent. She's obviously doesn't speak perfect English, but her promos are still, she gets a point across,
Yeah.
and her mannerisms and everything else that she does is just great. So I think putting the belt on her and having her hold that belt till Naomi gets back is the right thing to do. And you let Io head off, and maybe she goes into a tag match with Rhea against the Kabuki Warriors at Crown Jewel, because it's going to be in Australia, and that's a great way to get Rhea over. She's obviously hot with her home crowd, and get Io.
Yeah.
So, and then you have Stephanie go off and be a world champ against the next heel. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Stephanie's gimmick. The whole, wrestling is my first language, and works so well because she can't speak perfect English, and I think that's perfect. That's perfect,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rhea Ripley's got to come out, whether or not she has a match at WrestlePalooza. I mean, I feel like she's got to have a match at WrestlePalooza because it's in Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, we we don't really talk about NXT because I don't think we really watch NXT. But I did see that Rhea showed up at NXT for whatever reason, so I don't know if that will play into anything come WrestlePalooza.
No, I think they're just getting NXT ratings because
Okay,
they go up against AEW, and it's just kind of like, yeah, screw you guys.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
huh. but yeah, and then the last one that is on the card for WrestlePalooza is the Usos versus the Brawns. Jey and Jimmy versus Bronson and Braun. And I just think this match is gonna have Jey turn heel and have him turn on Jimmy or something, or LA Knight comes out and costs the Usos the match or something. But I don't know. I feel like Jey is turning heel after this match, and that's, I mean, he's slowly turning heel already. That I think this match will just solidify that turn.
Does he turn during the match, or does he turn after the match? Do they lose and he blames Jimmy on it?
That's a good question. I mean, there's a couple ways that can go. It maybe
Yeah, there's two ways.
Jimmy
Go ahead.
misses a move and hits Jey instead, and that pisses Jey off, and because that's what pissed Jey off with LA Knight, uh,
No.
and that just sets it off, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. Uh,
I like that. I like Jimmy hitting him with a move by accident,
yeah,
and then you do the old Sid Hogan thing where Jay's in the ring getting beat up all the time. He can't make the tag. He can't make the tag, and he finally goes to make the tag. Jimmy's in the ring getting beat up, getting beat up. Finally goes to make the tag, and Jay just jumps up off the apron and walks away.
oh yeah,
And
yeah,
Jimmy's just, where you going? You know what? You leaving me here by myself? It's like, screw you too. You're no better than
yeah,
LA Knight. No.
yeah.
And Jimmy just gets the shit kicked out of him, and
Well, yeah,
they're
because
going to town on Jimmy, and the match is still going
yeah,
because just because Jay left doesn't mean. And then LA Knight comes down and helps save Jimmy from the beat up, and
yeah. Yeah, because Jay is just like, yeah, Vision's not my problem. Vision's not my problem. Jimmy's like, well, he's all of our problem. They're all of our problems. Like we gotta, like, the hell you on about? And so I
yeah,
feel like that's kind of why Jay's gonna have some resentment towards Jimmy of like, you're getting me involved in this shit that I didn't even want to be involved in, and have
yeah,
that little storyline with him and Jimmy, and have Jay and Jimmy have a match, and that's when you start Jay's heel run, I guess. But it's going to be interesting because are they going to keep the Yeet gimmick? Or are they going to, I would assume not because he's heel.
yeah. You have to turn it into something else, right? You got to turn that into I don't know.
Yeah,
You gotta
something.
yeah, from Yeet to Heat. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, the good thing that comes out of Jey turning heel is we won't have to watch him do the fucking hand shit.
Yep.
Hopefully, hopefully. But yeah.
Yeah, they got to change all that because it's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Um,
Terrible.
But yeah, so I mean, I think we're on the same page here. I think regardless, you got to turn Jimmy heel,
Jey heel.
Jay heel,
Yeah. But
one of them heel.
but
They
yeah,
look the same.
yeah, that's kind of crazy, huh? Uh, They found two people that look the same, and they have the same last name. How the fuck did they do that?
The same dad.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for WrestlePalooza. As there's only 4 matches that have been announced as of right now. Usually, where I'm looking, it kind of has some matches that maybe could show up. But yeah, who knows? I don't see. I mean, I feel like we'll get like a Dominic Mysterio match with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get.
I think you're gonna get Rusev and Penta. They had a big interaction, didn't they, on Raw?
Yeah. But
Those two.
Rusev beat Penta. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's
on
just.
Raw? Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
get that far.
Okay, yeah. Rusev beat Penta on Raw.
Okay.
So maybe they'll continue that, or I don't know. Rusev will move on to somebody else.
Yeah.
I would love if they're gonna keep Brock Lesnar, have Rusev versus Lesnar. I think that would be an interesting match. Just because two giant dudes just wrestling in the ring.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to turn one face, right? And maybe Lesnar does once him and Cena, finish that match. Since it is their last match, they had some history and all that, and they're two legends. And Brock's got to be winding it down here too. A handshake wouldn't go too far,
Yeah.
And then Lesnar's a face, and you could get something like Rusev and Lesnar and
Something. Who knows?
something.
Maybe this is the start of Lesnar's retirement tour.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, again, he's got to be winding that down too.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, you could probably get AJ Styles, El Grande Americano, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe Dominic. This is where Dominic, kind of gets involved. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
He's got
know.
history.
I don't think we're gonna see a Lyra match. We have, or maybe I don't know because we got Nikki Bella. She's not gonna have a match. I don't think. I don't think we're gonna see Lyra. I don't think we're gonna see Judgment Day. But who knows? Who knows?
Unless you do Lyra and Nikki against Raquel and Roxanne, that could be something.
Yeah. That would.
I mean, I feel like they're going to throw a couple of matches together, just the bastard matches, just to have a beefier card for the show.
Yeah.
I don't think this needs to be just 4 matches like Saturday night's main event is on Peacock. I think they have to really beef it up. This is their first one on ESPN, so they got to go. Holy shit, that was full of everything, and I got to keep watching this now. I mean, you're going to attract viewers that don't typically tune into Netflix or don't typically watch WWE on a regular basis. And that's what the whole point of this is to draw them in, right?
Yeah.
Whether new fans or draw them away from AEW or whatever it is. So you got to you got to serve up a nice meal and make it good and tasty.
Yes. And what's it called? There's probably going to be a Cody match, Cody and McIntyre, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't watch SmackDown, so I don't know if that feud is still going on between McIntyre and Cody. But I would
move on that too.
I would assume we would see Cody at WrestlePalooza because he wasn't at the last PLE. So
football season is back, and it's kind of impacted my WWE viewing. So I'm gonna have to restructure my weeks right now and be better at watching SmackDown and Raw and the PLEs.
Yeah.
But Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what other matches we'll see, but we'll definitely be here next week, giving our predictions before WrestlePalooza, and talking about other stuff that is wrestling related.
Yeah.
But
And I may put up football predictions this week. I don't know.
there you go. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Do like little shorts, football
I
predictions.
recorded one last week in your absence, and I didn't post it
Oh, okay.
because I wasn't too crazy about it. But then after the weekend, my picks were I went about 85% of my picks of top 25 college, and I usually do 90% or so. So I might do it again this week and actually post it.
There you go. Doyledin picks. There it is.
Dip.
Dip. Welcome to Dip. But yeah, that's
anyway.
all I have to say. We're in the Halloween season now. I know it's September, but for me, Universal started their horror nights, and so I'm already in that mode, and geared for this Halloween season. Maybe we'll talk about a horror movie. Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
If we
which one you want me to watch, I'll watch it.
Yeah, if we could figure it out, I would probably choose Saw for you to watch, the first Saw movie.
Okay.
The first Saw movie, The Thing. I don't know if you've ever seen The Thing, but John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell's in that. Watch it. He's great.
Yeah, that movie's phenomenal. Yeah, maybe we'll do The Thing. Maybe we'll do The Thing because it's such a good movie. Such a good movie. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But
keep me posted. You let me know.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add before we close this off? And
No, I just hope we get, better TV this week. And I got to pay more attention to it. That could be part of the problem too. But
I don't think so.
Gearing up for WrestlePalooza, I really hope the go home shows are strong. We have some really good, sizzling topics to talk about next week. Not just the same random stuff that are being thrown at us that is just not very exciting.
Yeah, because if that's the case, we're just gonna watch old stuff and talk about old stuff like how we used to do it.
Bring it on. Let's do it.
Like how we used to start the show.
Yeah, I got a long list of shows we can talk about. This is one right here.
Yeah, WrestleMania 17. The what was that? The only WrestleMania you worked on? Yeah. So that would be fun. That'd be fun to talk about. But let us know. Let us know what you guys would want us to talk about, what you want to see, wrestling related, movie related, whatever. Just let us know. But yeah, that's been the Doyledin podcast. Have a good day. Have a good night. Whatever your time zone may be, don't forget to always stay Doyledin. We'll catch you guys on the next one.